Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Arrowhead Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was just about off the charts. They're set for football as the Chiefs get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all. The crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Finding room at the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line. 16 yards on that one and also a Texan first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the 41-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Out of the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. Here's Hyde. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second and 11 now. Watson, they go screen pass to Hyde. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. From the gun, here's Watson. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Always fun to see Patrick Mahomes, and we'll get a look at him here as he brings out the Chiefs offense. Likely, though, not going to be a second straight MVP season for Patrick Mahomes. Not anywhere near the 50 touchdowns that he threw a season ago, but maybe a more mature Patrick Mahomes this year. What do you say?
I would agree with that. And remember when we started this season, we kind of joked a little bit, a little tongue-in-cheek, that if he doesn't throw 50 touchdowns, everybody's going to talk about what a bad year Patrick Mahomes had. Don't forget, missed some time with a knee injury. Yeah. Kansas City's defense had its struggles. But bottom line is, they went to New England not long ago and won. They didn't do that last year. Lost in New England twice, right? I mean, lost New England once in the regular season, then at home in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game in 2018. So to see that maturation where he could find a way to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots, I would agree that he's a better quarterback this year, even if the numbers don't support it.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, watch the leg.
Throwing quickly, Mahomes gets this out to Watkins. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Charles, as the Texans get the ball back here, I want to discuss their season. It's been kind of some good, some really good, and then some bad and questionable. But under Bill O'Brien, he's in his 6th year. They've had 9 or more wins 5 times now because they've reached that plateau this year. Is this team one, though, that can make a run in the playoffs, or is it just going to be another exit in the playoffs?
Well, the problem that they run into is oftentimes they win their division, but they're the 4th division winner, which means what?
They got
wild card.
Yeah.
So they tend to host a wild card game, play in that. Most of the time they get beat, right? They did have that big win against Oakland a couple of years ago, but that was the year Derek Carr broke his leg, couldn't play. Then the backup gets hurt and ended up starting Connor Cook, a rookie, his first snaps in the NFL. So that was almost a layup. They've got to find a way to get out of that wild card game, and I'm not sure this is the year if they find a way to win the AFC South. I think they'll still be in the wild card game in 2019.
Yeah, because Bill O'Brien's only taken them to the divisional round once, and they lost that game.
Let's get set. 19. Number 53. Mike 53. We own it.
They run again with Hyde on first. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards.
It's a gain of 35. First down, Texans.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Chiefs, nothing.
First down, a run with Hyde. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
I'm here all day.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Set. 19. Check 53. Come on. All day, baby. All day. All day. Out to go.
Operating from the gun, Watson finding Fells complete. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
What is that? 19! It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Time to go.
They'll run high, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Watson now to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Sliding out of the pocket. And he will score. It's a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Texans push further out in front. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Kansas City's offense, and Charles, a 4th straight AFC West title for the Chiefs, but still no Super Bowl appearance in 50 seasons. Could this year be different?
I think it could, and I was skeptical about it mid-season. But the reason I say yes, defensive line playing much better. I'll give you 2 names. Derek Nottie, defensive tackle. Chris Jones, defensive tackle, defensive end. They're stuffing the run game better. They're pushing the pocket against the passers. That's helped out the back end. And, of course, any team that has Patrick Mahomes at quarterback is always a threat. This is a good year for Kansas City to make that run.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Let's go, Lou, lady! It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our...
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Yellow, I go, Lou, lady! Bandit! SOS!
On second down, Williams. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 43.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Mahomes now to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. J.J. Watt, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
To try again after the sack, Mahomes, and he's going to go down again. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. DeAndre Carter's deep for the Texans. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
On first down, it's Watson. Open man, the tight end fells. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Set.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack comes from Anthony Hitchens.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They don't want to repeat a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs' offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes, and it's complete. It's Damian Williams. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes, and that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. $51 yards on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll try to fire up the running game with Hyde. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 24-yard line.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Watson. Fells has it, left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
It's complete to Hopkins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Brian Anger now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. First carry now for the backup, LaShawn McCoy. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 41. I got you, son. I got you, son.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Again, it's Williams. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He's got his man. It's Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. DJ Reader there on the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Williams. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And the throw there gonna be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
They turn to the fullback, Gillespie, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Derek Nottie makes the tackle.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
From his goal line here, Watson rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We're back now in KC. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And the most curious way there to burn some clock. That was wild. And at the end of all that, it winds up a safety. All right, Charles, help me out here. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead, and you run backwards into the end zone. You're just trying to do too much.
I almost don't have words for it. But, you know, every coach that we talk to talks about running backs or people running the football, running north-south, getting upfield. He went way in the opposite direction, and that's going to cost his team.
Yeah, it cost him big time. Still leading, but it costs him. So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And this will be taken at the 13.
We got this.
And now here comes Kansas City. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Hey,
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the two-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Mahomes going to get this one to Hill, and they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles, all passes, all completions, and just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Yellow. 180. Check 41. Got to do better. Come on, you.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. That's complete. It's Bell. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Check. Mike,
Now it's Mahomes again. Caught here by Bell. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A 5-yard touchdown run as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
So now a big spot here as the Chiefs will indeed go for 2. They're going to try and run for it. But he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field.
Personal foul.
I'm not sure what this is about.
Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Hyde. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And the catch made by Hopkins. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as to understand where they are on the field?
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A 10th carry for Hyde. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They'll run it with Johnson. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson taking it in. And the Texans push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that might just seal the deal here. It makes it a 2-score game with not a lot of time on the clock. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down by 9. A little over a minute and a half remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Mike, there's no little lady. What's the run? They're running it.
Back to throw, Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, he's got it to Williams. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 3rd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. To throw is Mahomes. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here's Mahomes to throw. Robinson's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done. Really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball.
You just like one game ball?
You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural, but
I like where we're going with this, though. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that, and I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.